para makapagsulat. So, thank you. Ang last time ang ating pinag-usapan ay patungkol sa a new beginning. And we talk about itong mga bagay nito. Mag-review lang muna tayo before we go sa ating sermon ngayon. Okay, a new beginning, ang main points natin ay God is the starting point. In the beginning, God. So in the beginning, it's not you. In the beginning, it's not me. In the beginning, it's not the material things. In the beginning, it's not about, the things na nakikita natin dito. In the beginning, it's not even the black energy na sinasabi nila or the Big Bang, but in the beginning, God, yun ang starting point. That's why ang point natin last time ay you should start with God because in the beginning, in the book of Genesis, siya yung pasimula. Second ay God is the creator. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. At sa mga following na talata, makikita nyo, it was good, it was good, it was good, it was good. Hanggang sa closing statement ng Genesis 1, it was good. Kaya ang point natin last time, if we give our lives, even our plans to the Lord, then at the end of 2018, we will declare it is good. Not only that, na ang Diyos ang mag-aayos sa ating mga plano, we also mentioned that God is the giver of life. You will find your purpose and fulfillment only in Him. Because in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Pagdating sa Genesis 1:26, He created man in His own image. Kaya tayo ay may purpose, kaya tayo ay may, we are precious in God's sight kasi sa buong creation, tayo lang nilikha niya sa imahe niya. So that's why, sa ating pagsisimula, dapat magsimula tayo sa Panginoon. Now, having said that, we need also to realize na last 2017, the Lord has been so faithful sa atin. Amen? Itinawid niya tayo sa maraming pagsubok. Marami sigurong mga pagsubok, whether sa financial, sa relationship, sa spiritual, and many, many things. Pero nevertheless, umabot tayo ng 2018. I remember last time when I was there nung ating December 31 na service. If you will remember, I got a call, biglaan. Pero hindi ko kasi masyadong, kasi nga, it was during the worship. And then I got a call na isa sa ating kapatid ay yung kanyang tatay ay pumanaw. That's December 31. Konti na lang, aabot na sana ng January 2018, pero hindi na umabot. At ganyan ang mga pagsubok. But for all of us, tayo ay umabot ng 2018 and we praise God. And so, ang ating sermon ay your response or our response to God's faithfulness dito sa book ni Joshua. And so, titingnan po natin, kung yung isarado, explore natin ito. Ang gagamitin ko ay letter F, no? So that we will not F or we will not fail. So the first one is forget not His goodness. Forget not His goodness. So, ano ba ang response natin sa Panginoon sa kabutihan niya last 2017 and sa buong buhay natin? Sabi rito, then Joshua assembled all the tribes of Israel at Shechem. He summoned the elders, leaders, judges, and officials of Israel, and they presented themselves before God. Let's continue. Joshua said to all the people, this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. Long ago, your ancestors, including Terah, the father of Abraham and Nahor, you could find it in Genesis 12, lived beyond the Euphrates River and worshipped other gods. But I took your father Abraham from the land beyond the Euphrates and led him throughout Canaan and gave him many descendants. I gave him Isaac, and Isaac I gave Jacob, and Esau I assigned the hill country of Seir to Esau, but Jacob and his family went down to Egypt. The first one na ating gagawin bilang pasasalamat or pagtanaw ng utang na loob in our response sa kabutihan ng Diyos ay makikita natin na huwag natin kalimutan yung kabutihan ng Diyos. Dito mismo sa text na ito, kung ano yung makikita, ang sabi ni Joshua dito, no? Ang sabi ng Panginoon, dito sa book of Joshua ay, si Abraham, hinango ko from lugar nila before. Pag makikita nyo doon sa Ur, sa Genesis chapter 12, yung lugar na yon ay pagan na lugar. Ibig sabihin, it's mayaman, advanced in technology, but kahit yun ay mayaman at advanced sa technology, wala silang Diyos. At pinapakita rito, kung makikita niyo yung story dyan maya-maya, ma-unfold na pinapakita ng Diyos yung mga ginawa niya sa mga Israelita para makita nila yung pagkilos ng Panginoon. And the same thing sa atin, pinapaalala ng Diyos yung mga nangyari nung nakaraang 2017 at hindi lang yun. Even nung mula tayo pinanganak sa mundong ito. In particular, kila Abraham, he was taken from paganism. Kasi aanhin mo ang yaman kung wala naman ang Diyos. Kung wala ang tunay na Diyos. So pinapakita ng Panginoon na huwag niyong kalimutan na kayong mga Israelita, ang inyong ancestor si Abraham ay kinuha ko mula doon sa pagan nation at ngayon ay naglilingkod o mga naglingkod sa akin. Another thing na pinapakita ng Panginoon, huwag niyong kalimutan na yung si Abraham ay nagbigay ako ng promise sa kanya na siya ay magkakaroon ng anak. Of course, kung maalala niyo, dumating si Ishmael pero hindi yun ang promise. Dumating si Isaac, and after Isaac, nandun si Jacob, or si Esau and si Jacob. Ito yung mga promises ko na mga nangyari, huwag niyong kakalimutan yung mga bagay na ito. If you will remember yung sermon natin about kay Isaac, na sabi ng Panginoon na magkakaroon sila ng anak, but it took 25 years to make it happen. Abraham was already 100 years old. But nevertheless, it happened. So pinapakita rito na ang Diyos ay tapat sa atin. Maraming nangyari, yes, nung nakaraang 2017 and even nung pinanganak tayo. But ang Diyos ay tapat. Huwag niyong kakalimutan or huwag nating kakalimutan yung mga bagay niya. 2018 na. But we need to remember those things. Parang ginather dito ni Joshua ang lahat ng mga tao and then minention niya ang salita ng Panginoon sa kanila. Then I sent Moses and Aaron and I afflicted the Egyptians by what I did there. Ang Panginoon sasalita, and I brought you out. When I brought you out, your people out of Egypt, you came to the sea and the Egyptians pursued them with chariots and horsemen as far as the Red Sea. But they cried to the Lord for help. And He put darkness between you and the Egyptians. He brought the sea over them and covered them. You saw with your own eyes what I did to the Egyptians. Then you lived in the wilderness for a long time. Let's continue muna. Joshua said to all the people, this is what the Lord, the God of Israel says. Long ago, your ancestors, including Terah, the father of Abraham, and Nahor, lived beyond the Euphrates River and worship other gods. But I took your father Abraham from the land beyond Canaan. Kaya pati ito iya bumalik. Okay, I'll move. Okay? So, ano makikita natin dito? Then I sent Moses and Aaron and afflicted the Egyptians, but what I did there, but jump ako dun sa red. You saw with your own eyes what I did to the Egyptians, then you lived in the wilderness for a long time. So, anong point dito? They were rescued from what? Slavery. Bigyan natin ha. So kanina, sila Abraham, mula doon sa buhay na magulo, from paganism, mayaman, pero walang Diyos na totoo. At saka yung promise na anak ay ibinigay, at hindi lang yun. Iningatan pa sila ng Panginoon doon sa slavery. Kasi ma-remember niyo, sabi rin ng kwento, sila Jacob ay pumunta sa Egypt. First, doon sila nanirahan, dumating yung story ni Joseph. Then for so long, naiwan sila doon. Nung dumating na yung bagong Pharaoh or king, hindi nakilala si Joseph. Ano ginawa? Inalipin sila. Yung pinagagawa sa kanila, dinoble pa ng dinoble. Hanggang sa to the point na umiiyak na sila sa Panginoon and they are really crying and saying, Lord, help us. Hanggang sa nadinig ng Diyos doon sa Exodus, yung kanilang mga daing. And they were rescued from slavery. Alam niyo yung word na Exodus is from the word exit. Ang battle cry nito ay let my people go. Yun ang ginawa ni Moses. And I think ganun din ang ginawa ng Diyos sa atin. Maaaring may mga umaaliping problema, sitwasyon sa atin last 2017 or even before, pero tinulungan tayo ng Panginoon para makalabas doon. Pag tinignan niyo dun sa Exodus 14, yung crossing the Red Sea, sabi dun sa inyo, you saw with your own eyes what I did to the Egyptians. Ano ba yung nangyari? Wala na silang choice, kailangan nilang tumawid sa dagat, hinahabol sila ng Egyptian, yung dagat ay nahawi, at nung sila ay nakatawid, bumalik uli yun, namatay yung mga Egyptian. Pinapakita niya dito na, kitang-kita nyo yung mga miracles ng ginawa ko sa inyong buhay. What are the miracles na ginawa ng Lord sa inyong buhay? Nung nakaraang taon. Meron ba? Kasi pinapakita niya dito, tinulungan ko kayo at hindi lang yun. May mga himala na kayong mismo ang nakakita, kayo mismo ang nakasaksi. Huwag niyong kakalimutan ito. Bakit kaya kailangan ipaalala ito ng Panginoon? Kasi makakalimutin tayo. Kung makikita niyo sa story na yan, Exodus 14, tumawid sila ng Red Sea. Exodus 15, the song of Moses and Miriam, kumanta sila, purihin ng Diyos. Purihin ng Diyos, ang galing. Pagdating na Exodus 16 at 17, galit sila sa Diyos. Sinisisi nila ang Diyos, walang pagkain, walang mainom. And I think, ganun talaga tayo makakalimutin. One time we are praising God and so thankful sa kanyang ginawa. The next day we may be cursing God. Kaya ang paalala rito ay, huwag natin kalimutan yung mga bagay nito. Kailangan pang ipaalala ng Diyos sa atin na nakita nyo ang bawat himala sa buhay nyo. I have several miracles, but one of those miracles ay yung bigla kong gumaling. I did a third operation and it will cost money and time, a week in the hospital. But by God's grace, sa biyaya ng Lord, ako ay gumaling. What a blessing from the Lord. So dito yung makikita that you need to go back from all these things upang maalala natin yung kabutihan ng Diyos. So ano yung kabutihan ng Diyos sa kanila? Balikan natin. Pinango sila Abraham saan? Sa paganism, yung walang Diyos o maling Diyos. Binigyan sila ng anak. Ano ba? Tinulungan sila from slavery na awang-awa sila just like tayo. Niligtas tayo ng Panginoon sa ating mga kasalanan. Yung guilt ng sin, yung sting ng kasalanan. And then na-witness natin yung miracle ng Panginoon. Kung paano inaayos ng Lord ang ating mga buhay. At paano nito pinaganda. Hindi lang yun, marami pa. Kasi ito'y parang ang Panginoon ay kinikwento niya doon sa mga tao. Yung nangyari na ginawa ng Lord sa kanilang buhay. By the way, makikita nyo, nung time na nakapunta sila sa Promised Land, only Joshua and Caleb were able to enter. Kasi sabi dun sa Deuteronomy, from 20 years old above, hindi makakapasok. Kaya yung new generation lamang yung nakapasok doon sa Promised Land. Now, let's go back. Balikan na, puntahan naman natin ito. Dire-diretso itong mga text. I brought you to the land of the Amorites, who live east of the Jordan. They fought against you, but I gave them into your hands. Ito, I destroyed them before you, and you took possession of their land. When Balak son of Zippor, the king of Moab, prepared to fight against Israel, he sent for Balaam son of Beor to put a curse on you. But I would not listen to Balaam, so he blessed you again and again, and delivered you out of his hand. Then you crossed the Jordan and came to Jericho. Inikwento ng Lord yung mga ginawa niya. The citizens of Jericho fought against you, as did also the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Girgashites, the Hivites, and Jebusites, mga buwisites ng buhay, in other words. But I gave them into your hands. I sent the hornet ahead of you, which drove them out before you. Also the two Amorite kings, you did not do it with your own sword and bow. So I gave you a land in which you did not toil, and cities you did not build. And you live in them and eat from vineyards and olive groves that you did not plant. In other words, they were delivered from their enemies. And I think we need to appreciate God's goodness, because the Lord constantly is delivering us from our enemies. Ano ba yung mga enemies? Sometimes it could be yung ating sarili. When we are not right with God, when we cannot think well. But nevertheless, tinulungan tayo ng Panginoon. Amen? Ano ba ang mga Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, at mga Buwisites ng buhay niyo? Diba tinulungan tayo ng Panginoon? All those things. In other words, it's only by His grace. So I gave you a land in which you did not toil, and cities you did not build. We need what? To remember those things. One of the things that we can do in response to God's faithfulness nung nakaraang taon and even nung mga dati pa, I do not forget His goodness sa iyong buhay. Can you imagine that? Kailangan yun ay ipakita pa ng Panginoon. The second one is what? Fear the Lord. Fear the Lord. Now, pagkatapos ikwento ng Panginoon, yung mga ginawa niya sa Israelita, biglang may transition. Biglang ang term dito, now. 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 Nakita niyo na the things that I have done to Abraham, even doon sa Egypt, and how I delivered you from the hands of your enemies. Now, what will you do? Now, fear the Lord and serve Him with all faithfulness. Himay-himayin natin itong 14. Now, fear the Lord. Sabi mo nga sa iyong katabi, fear the Lord. Ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng fear the Lord na ito? And sometimes it depends kung paano ba tayo namumuhay. Natatakot ba tayo sa Diyos at anong takot ito? Sabi ng Romans 6:23, for the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life, Christ Jesus our Lord. So we need to fear God. Because ang kasalanan ay magdudulot sa atin ng kamatayan. Just as people are destined to die once, and after that, to face what? To face judgment. In other words, we need to fear the Lord. Now, dalawa ito, of course, we will be talking about reverence, but kailangan may takot tayo sa Lord. A lot of people here, they are not afraid with the Lord. Si Richard Dawkins na isang atheist na, parang siya yung pinaka-head ng atheism yata ngayon. He keeps on telling na hindi lamang dapat mild atheism, militant atheist. Magalit kayo dun sa mga theist, sa mga naniniwala sa Diyos. After all, there's really no God. Wala siyang fear. Pag sinabi nun, paano yan kung wala namang mamamatay ka na mapupunta ka na impyerno? So be it. I don't care. As far as, the evidence is concerned, I do not believe in God. Yun ang kanilang premise. They don't believe in God, but they believe, just in the energy, and sometime in the past, nagkaroon ng malaking explosion, but they cannot explain saan nanggaling yung mga bagay na yun. They do not know where. They just believe, ang ito-turn lang yan, this is, black energy, or because wala nang ma-define, but for us, it's God. In the beginning, it's God. Now, tingnan niyo ito in Romans chapter 3, starting on verse 10. Hindi ko po dyan nilagay so that we can also read from our Bibles from time to time. We're talking about the fear of God. But let's see if people, kung ang mga tao ba ay takot sa Diyos. Romans chapter 3, verse 10. As it is written, there is no one righteous, not even one. There is no one who understands, no one who seeks God. All have turned away, they have together become worthless. There is no one who does good, not even one. Their throats are open graves, their tongues practice deceit. The poison of vipers is on their lips. Their mouths are full of cursing and bitterness. Their feet are swift to shed blood. Ruin and misery of mark their ways, and the way of peace they do not know. In other words, there is no fear of God before their eyes. But we need the fear of God, because judgment awaits us kung hindi natin ito gagawin. Another side ng fear of God is the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. If you want to do well, ngayong taon na ito, the fear of the Lord. Ni-recite this kanina, blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, or stand in the way of sinners, or sit in the seat of mockers, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. And on this law he meditates day and night. Then you are blessed. It is the Lord your God you must follow, and Him you revere. Keep His commands and obey Him, serve Him, and hold fast to Him. Without fear, we will never appreciate God, and we will not think about His holiness and even justice, and then patuloy lang tayo magkakasala. Bakit sa ating bansa, maraming pumapatay lang, gumagawa ng krimen? Walang takot na sa gobyerno. Kasi makakalusot. Pero why is it that in Japan, bigla tayong sumusunod na sa mga batas? Because may fear tayo sa justice system in Japan. If you will drive ng mabilis, meron kang ticket. Ichimanggosen, or maybe more. But if you will see, we need to appreciate the fear of God. The fear of God in the sense that we respect Him, and we keep His commands and obey Him and serve Him and hold fast to Him. So the first one, alalahanin natin yung mga ginawa ng Panginoon. Ano yung the second one? The fear of the Lord. And also, faithfully serve Him. Now fear the Lord. And not only just fear God, if you fear God and you revere Him, and then you serve Him with all your heart. Serve Him with all faithfulness. Serve Him with all faithfulness. If you will see in the book of Joshua, when Moses was gone, sa opening statement ng book of Joshua, sabi niya doon, huwag kang matakot, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Kasi wala na si Moses. Si Moses, kung makikita nyo, namatay na. Si Joshua ang maglilid ng maraming mga Israelita, hindi pa nila inabot yung promised land. Si Moses, nakita niya lang from a distance. Pero si Joshua ang pumalit, pero nag-serve si Joshua faithfully. If you will see, Joshua 24, yung remaining verse hindi na natin binasa, pero si Joshua ay namatay na after nito. Tingnan niyo po doon. Thank you, bro. Okay, basa niyo po, 28. From verses 28 to 32, then you will see, sa verse 29, after these things, Joshua, son of Nun, the servant of the Lord, died at the age of 110. And he served God what? Faithfully. Amen. So siguro, the Lord is really telling us that when we serve the Lord, it should be what? Faithfully. Last year, it was already a year ago, we talked about Genesis chapter 5, especially in 24. Enoch walked with God. Tama? He walked with God for 300 years. Noong 65 years old, when Nino was 65 years old, he encountered God, and for 300 years, he walked with God faithfully and consistently. Can you imagine consistently? Now, after that verse, you will see that Methuselah lived for 969 years. Enoch lived for only 365 years. But I think it's not about how long, but how well you live. If we live 30 years, but you walk with the Lord faithfully, that's awesome. If you walk with the Lord 90 years or 100 years faithfully with the Lord, that's awesome. I remember here in Japan, they have some problems with the pension system because the lifespan is really go beyond, So I think they're trying to increasing it from 65 to 70 so that the pension, ay magiging maayos and all. And yesterday we were talking about pension and all because I also applied my own pension system. I think it's until 65 years old. And hopefully ma-enjoy mo pa. Pwede pa tayo mag-hiking. May pambili na ng mga gear. But 65, maybe I would say, okay, just take the pictures. Take pictures and I'll just watch it. But serve the Lord faithfully. I think for this year, if you want to respond to the goodness of God, we need to serve the Lord faithfully and consistently. The next one is forsake your idols. Now fear the Lord and serve Him with all faithfulness. Throw away the gods your ancestors worship beyond the Euphrates River. Hindi sinabi dyan yung Jordan River. Kung hindi, wala pa sa panahon nila Abraham. Sabi natin, inango sila from paganism. And then pagdating sa Egypt, there's a different God and multiple gods. But hindi rin sinasabi, serve the Lord, the real God, Yahweh. Why? Joshua said to all the people, you are not able to serve the Lord. He is a holy God. He is a jealous God. He will not forgive your rebellion and your sins. If you forsake the Lord and serve foreign gods, He will turn and bring disasters on you and make an end of you after He has been good to you. Sabi dito, mabuti ang Diyos sa inyo, then you will just serve yung hindi totoong Diyos. God is a jealous God. Amen. Siya kasi yung lumikha sa sabi. No, we keep on lagi natin yung pinag-uusapan na bakit seloso ang Diyos? Insecure ba siya? Kasi yung pagiging seloso parang negative, di ba? Bakit seloso ang Diyos? But you need to understand that in the beginning, God, He created everything. And then you will just instantly serve gods or ginawa lang ng tao. doon galit na galit ang Panginoon. Can you imagine, ang Toyota ang nagbibigay sa iyo lahat ng bagay kasi yun ang company mo. Yet naglilingkod ka sa Mitsubishi. The same with God. Now, yung jealous, for example, kung lalo kong honest jealousy naman na kunyari yung ating spouse may hindi ginagawang bagay, may pagsiselos doon. But that's normal. Why? May covenant eh. Tama? So kunyari lang ha. Parang pahin. Pero gawin natin yung story. Well, si Banji, may ginagawa siya hindi magagandang bagay. Eh bilang asawa, magsiselos ako, di ba? Hindi man kami seloso, pero kung talagang hindi na maganda, okay lang ba yun? Okay, kasi may covenant kami. Tama? Okay. Kung sa iba naman ako magsiselos, hindi ko makaano, hindi ba ako magsiselos? Eh, si Sarika nakakapagselos. Kaya, ano pastor? Bakit ka magsiselos? Ano kita? Wala. But because of the covenant with God na tayo, nagsiselos ang Diyos. Pag tayo ay naglilingkod sa ibang mga Diyos-Diyosan, and God is so serious about it. Tingnan natin, how serious ang Panginoon. And God spoke all these words, I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt. Pinapakita na naman. Out of the land of slavery, Exodus 20. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven, above, or the earth, beneath, or in the waters. You shall not bow down to them or worship them. For I, the Lord your God, am jealous, punishing the children for the sin of the parents to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me. Ganun kaserious ang Panginoon. Hindi lamang siya nagsaselos, may punishment kung meron tayong Diyos-Diyosan. Now, tingnan natin ito. This is really serious. A lot of people nagsasabi, kasi may mga nagsusurrender sa akin ng idols, literal idols, huwag mo isusurrender yan kasi gagabaan ka. Kanino galing yun? It's not from the Bible. Pero ang sabi ng Bible, pag meron yan, gagabaan ka. Baliktad, di ba? Pag binigay mo yan, gagabaan ka. Something will happen to you. Pero sabi ng Bible, pag meron ka yan, For I, the Lord your God, am jealous, punishing the children for the sin of their parents to the third and fourth generation. Bakit ba ayaw ito ng Panginoon? Nagdagan natin Psalms 115, 1-7. Why do the nations say, where is their God? Our God is in heaven. He does whatever pleases Him, but their idols are silver and gold, made by human hands. They have mouths, but cannot speak. Eyes, but cannot see. They have ears, but cannot hear. Noses, but cannot smell. They have hands, but cannot feel. Feet, but cannot walk. Nor can they utter a sound with their throats. Those who make them will be like them, and so will all who trust in them. The things na mga nilikha lang ng tao ay wala raw magagawa. Minsan nga, pag nagpe-pray ka sa idols, gumalaw. Lalo ka natatakot, gumalaw. But ang sabi ng Bible, wala silang magagawa because there's only one God. Kaya ang sabi ni Joshua ay, now then said Joshua, throw away the foreign gods that are among you and yield your hearts to the Lord, the God of Israel. So we need to throw away our what? Our idols. By the way, idolatry is not just the idols or the images. Idolatry can be anything na mas nag-glorify mo aside from the Lord. Anything. Work can be an idol. Your spouse can be an idol. Siya na lang lagi mo naisip, pag-gising, ganda talaga. It can be an idol. Anything can be an idol na nagpapalit sa Panginoon. And that's what we need to remember. In the beginning, what? God. In the beginning, it's not you. In the beginning, it's not me. In the beginning, it's not about material things. Genesis 1, in the beginning, God. And He is our what? Starting point. So we need to what? Throw away these foreign gods. I've told you many times, may nag-surrender ng idols sa akin sa ilalim ng idols. Doon sa pinaka-ilalim. I will not mention kung anong idol siya, but yung idol na yun, sinurrender sa akin, pagtingin ko sa ilalim, Dario. Abante. Ito, may story doon na hindi maganda. And then meron doon story pa na showbiz. And ito, yung mga bagay. Pinicturean ko yun, I sent it to that person, I said, tingnan mo ito. The one that you are kneeling down for a long time, there's something inside. But that's true. That's true. So sabi dito, if you want to be thankful sa Panginoon for His goodness, your response to His goodness is that ang galing natin forsake those idols. Next one is firm up those whom you will really choose. Okay, I use the word firm up just to find F. Okay. Firm up whom you will really choose. But if serving the Lord seems undesirable to you, then choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve, whether the gods of your ancestors served the Euphrates or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land you are living. But as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. Anong point ito? Sabi ni Joshua, it's up to you. I think we were created in the image of God, and part of is we have the freedom of what? Of choice. We are free men, we have free volition. Kaya sabi niya, if serving the Lord seems undesirable, kung ayaw niyo sa Panginoon, kung ayaw niyo siyang pagsilbihan, makakapili kayo. You can choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve. But as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. You have plenty of choices this year, 2018. And it's up to you to choose. Because wala naman tayong, bahala kayo kung anong iisipin niyo. Kung anong inyong pipiliin. Lagi tayong may choices. Sabi nga ni Apostol Pablo, I have the right to do anything. But you say, but not everything is beneficial. I have the right to do anything, but I will not be mastered by anything. You can do anything, but not everything is what? But not everything is beneficial. It's up to you. What are the choices in life that you will be making for this year? Will you choose serving God? Or will you choose na malayo kayo sa Panginoon? It's up to you. Alam niya, maganda yung freedom. Lagi may nagtatanong, sana hindi na lang nilagay ng Diyos doon yung tree of the good ng knowledge and evil para sana hindi na lang nagkasala sila Adan. But if God did not put that, then robot tayo. We are robot. We don't have, hindi natin nakita kung tayo may makakapili. Kasi may tatanong, alam na ng Diyos na magkakasala tayo. Ang tao, God, He is an all-knowing God. He knows what will happen in the future. Why is it that God put that tree in that garden? And it started all the problems in life. But if God will not put that, we are like a robot. But ang sabi ng Panginoon, it's just like we are in the park. Okay, we are in Legoland. You can ride, you can do whatever you want. But do not touch this cotton candy. Do not touch this cotton candy. All of a sudden, there are many things that we can touch. We became curious with this cotton candy. And then we touch it. And then nag-start yung ating mga pagpili. So I think it's important, mga kapatid. Sabi ni Joshua, you can choose. It's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you. But as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. One day we will face God individually. And it's up to you. My job or my goal and my calling as a preacher is to preach the gospel. But it's up to you if you will accept it or not. You cannot say pagdating doon, I didn't know and everything, but you have a choice. So you need to choose God. But as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. If you will remember the story of Noah, in Noah's time, it's like everything was relative. In other words, it's up to you what you will be doing. All the sins of the world are there. Sabi nga doon sa Genesis 6, they followed the inclinations of their hearts. They do everything. And God was so grieved. May term na yung anthropomorphism, na yung Diyos, He regret that He created human. Not in the sense na He regret really, but it's just an expression na nalungkot talaga ang Diyos. He created humans, and then nagkasala sila. But Noah found favor in the face of God. Amen? And when he found favor, he brought his whole family. As for me and my household, I will serve the Lord. That's really important. That not only us, but let us do our best to bring our family to the Lord. Can you imagine if it is Noah and his wife inside the ark, and then his children is drowning? It's really hard. But let's do our best. Let's pray to bring our family. But as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. Yesterday, I was bringing the kids in Awana. It's really far. That's around 30 kilometers from our house. And Saturday, I'm so busy and all, preparing for many things. But if I could do it, I'm doing my best to bring the children to Awana. Because they speak Japanese and they are more comfortable with that. So in Awana, they can learn about Jesus and everything. And when we were driving, going there, I was doing my best to sometimes to talk to them. And I'm telling them, you need to learn English or Tagalog. And I need to learn Japanese too. Otherwise, there will be a time we will not understand each other. So we were talking, I was talking about the sermon last week, that in the beginning, God. And then I was surprised, Jordan, he knows the Big Bang. I'm not sure how depth, but he knows the Big Bang. And a little partial of evolution, we came from the monkey and all. And then he mentioned about insect. So I thought it's really insect because we're talking about, the material things and all. Yung pala yung insect, it's about parang falling star. Ano ba? Ano sa Nihongo? Nihongo pala yun. I thought that's English insect. But it's Japanese. But we talk about these things and I'm telling them, Jordan, when you go to university and to college, you will be exposed to many things in life. But you need to listen to Daddy. I studied this. My point is, I didn't just embrace it, but I tried to study and piliin talaga if this is really good or not, tama ba to or mali. But I'm giving him a foundation. Because sabi kasi ni Daddy, pastor siya, so sinabi niya. But I want him na, we are also doing our investigation. Investigation in the science aspect that in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Walang problema ang science at ang pananampalataya. Kasi ngayon, talagang ganito gagawin sa inyo. They will think that the only real is science. If there is science, then you should not have religion. It's an opium. But I think this is a false thinking. I do believe that you could have science and you could have God. Because if you will see Isaac Newton, the more he understood, discovered the law of motion, then doon niya nakita, mas na-appreciate niya yung Diyos. For example, may mga engineers tayo. If you are an engineer, you saw this an engine of this maybe 747 plane. If you're an atheist, you will say, ito, galing lang ito. This was, there are many parts and because of that, it was what? It became an engine. But if you know the Creator, then you will say, you are an engineer, hindi ka mas lalong lalayo. You will appreciate the Creator. I don't know, sino ba nag-invento ng engine ng plane? Tatlo kayo. Okay? Mamaya, sagutin niya, paki-Google sa akin. So para sa akin, because I'm not an engineer, I said, wow, that's amazing. But for them, it's more amazing because they said, wow, this is a complex engine. Yet, these parts, because they know it. Ay, hindi natin alam. This part, nabuo ito. Amazing yung naka-invento. Tama? And it's the same thing with this world. If you're a scientist, the more you discover a life, you will say, there is an intelligent being who designed this world. And that's why we are not floating in the air today. Our planets ay nandun pa rin, hindi nagbabanggaan. Because what? Ang Panginoon ay mabuti. So as for me and my household, we need what? We need to serve God. We need to tell our kids about this. Because what? Talagang nandyan na. I always talk to my children. There was a time I was trying to explain Trinity. It's really hard in Japanese. But I know it's soon. He's already 10 years old. And I hope that I could really give more influence to this young man. Because it's soon. But it's up to you. But for Joshua, as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord just like with what? With Noah. Yung kanyang mga anak, mga biyanan, hindi pala biyanan, mga manugang, ay kasama niya sa arka. Amen? Praise God. And finally, form a covenant with the Lord. Now that you know that God is amazing, you fear Him, you love Him, you forsake your idols, and you serve Him faithfully in all these things, you need to form a covenant. Because Joshua asked the people, sabi niya, kayo, pagsilbihan niyo, sabi, yes, we will serve God, we will serve God. But Joshua asked them to make a covenant sa Panginoon. Kasi madali lang mag-promise, di ba? It's easy to promise, yes, I will serve God. This 2018, I'll do my best to serve God. And then January, February, mahirap na. Kaya sabi ni Joshua, on that day, Joshua made a covenant for the people. You will not just promise, but you will say to the Lord, Lord, yes. And there at Shechem, he reaffirmed for them decrees and laws. And on that day, Joshua made a covenant for the people. And there at Shechem, he reaffirmed for them the laws. And Joshua recorded these things in the book of the law. Then he took a large stone and set it up there under the oak near the holy place. See, he said to all the people, this stone will be a witness against us. It has heard all the words of the Lord, has said to us, it will be a witness against you if you are untrue to your God. Then you dismiss the people each to their own inheritance. It's really good to make a covenant sa Panginoon and say, Lord, because you are so good to me, I will forsake my idols, I will follow you, I will do my best, and I will firmly choose you, and I would like to make a covenant with you. So maganda may promise. Dito may ginawa pa sila, gumawa sila ng parang altar. Kaya nga sa atin, di ba, pag kinakasal, may kami, sa nairing namin. Example ko pa naman, wala. Okay. May ring, kasi pagka naaalala mo yun, ano nangyari? May spouse. May promise ako sa kanya. Di ba? Ganun yun eh. Pag tinatago mo yan, kunyari, single ka ba? Oo. Tatago mo na itutupi mo. Ganun, daliri. But it's a sign, it's a symbol, it's a covenant natin. And maybe we could do the same thing. Maybe we can say, Lord, I will follow you. I don't know how, before ginawa natin yung isulat sa bato or anything, but maybe you could just do it in prayer and say, Lord, this year I will follow you. Because you have been so good to me, you are so faithful to me, and you are the starting point of my life, and I'd like to form or make a covenant sa iyo ngayong araw nito. That I will never forsake you. Because you have also said in your word, I will never leave you, and I will never forsake you. I hope sa kabutihan ng Diyos, ngayong taon, aalalahanin, you remember. Because it's easy to forget. Let's try to remember His goodness sa ating buhay. Iwanan natin, i-forsake natin ang mga bagay-bagay, fear the Lord, serve Him faithfully, and magpatuloy tayo ngayong taon na ito. Because this is really important. Hopefully, we can survive this 2018. I do believe that by the help of God, we can do it. Tayong lahat ay tumayo at manalangin.